What happened? I just paid extra for what I thought was Renfe's premium AVE high-speed train experience from Sevilla to Madrid in Spain. But wait until you see what I actually got for my money. Spoiler alert, it wasn't their top product. And I only realized this when I was the only person in the entire carriage using what they call Elige Confort. I'm about to show you exactly why booking train tickets through aggregator websites can be one of the biggest travel mistakes you'll make in Europe, and how I accidentally ended up testing a product that wasn't even close to Renfe's best, most luxury offering. And so it's time to take another luxury travel trip on a train again, this time with Spain's Renfe company, which is kind of almost like a sort of national train carrier, and we're going to be traveling on their signature train called the AVE. So here I am at Santa Justa station in Sevilla, ready to board what I thought would be Spain's answer to luxury rail travel. I've got my ticket, which promised at-seat dining and premium seating, and I'm expecting something that might rival my recent Rio train experience. But from the moment I step onto coach number 2, something feels off. First red flag, I'm literally the only passenger in this entire carriage who's paid for Elige Confort. Everyone else around me has standard tickets, yet here I am, supposedly in the premium section. It's like being the only person in business class on a plane, where business class is just regular economy with a different name tag. The seat itself, well, it's comfortable enough, but calling it premium feels like a stretch. There's no XL legroom that's Renfe's actual top product, the premium ticket. Instead, I'm sitting in what's essentially a standard seat with a meal service attached. And speaking of that meal service, let me show you exactly what 30 euros extra gets you. They start by serving some nuts and fruit juice, which honestly, you may even get for free on most budget airlines. Nothing special here. Then comes the menu, available in multiple languages, which is a nice touch, but when I see the options, I'm already lowering my expectations. I order the cheese bagel with nuts and rocket because, frankly, it's one of the few items that doesn't sound completely uninspiring. But here's where things get interesting. The wine they serve is actually excellent. A Pata Negra Crianza 2020 from Ribera del Duero. This might be the only thing that justifies the upgrade price. Because let me tell you, this wine could easily cost 20 euros in a restaurant, or much more. But then the food arrives, and it's exactly what you'd expect from airplane catering. The bagel is mediocre at best, and since I hate goat cheese, and that wasn't mentioned on the menu, I'm stuck with what's essentially an overpriced snack. The service throughout the journey is fast, but impersonal. The staff seem rushed, and unlike my Irio experience where the crew was warm and engaging, here it feels a little robotic. They clear your tray whether you're finished or not, and don't expect any of that personalized attention you'd get from a truly premium service. But here's the real kicker, and this is crucial information for anyone booking European train travel. I thought I was booking Renfe's most luxurious premium product, but I wasn't. There's actually something called AVE Premium XL, which includes XL extra large comfort seats with extra legroom and proper premium amenities. What I booked through an aggregator website was Elige Confort, which is basically standard seating with a meal thrown in. This is exactly why I always tell people to be extremely careful with booking sites like Trainline or trenes.es. They make you think you're getting the best product available, when in reality, you may be paying premium prices for a mid-tier experience. These aggregators profit by making everything look equivalent when it absolutely isn't. The journey itself takes us through some beautiful Spanish countryside at speeds reaching 300 kilometers per hour, which never fails to impress me. There's something magical about watching the world blur past your window when you're making phone calls, something you obviously can't do on a plane. The Wi-Fi actually works well, which puts this train ahead of my Ethiopian Airlines experience. About halfway through the journey, we're running late, and I start hoping we'll be delayed even more. Why? Because Renfe actually has a punctuality guarantee. If your train is delayed significantly, you can get up to 100% of your ticket price back. Unfortunately, we only arrived about 10 minutes late in the end, so no refund for me. By the end of this 2-hour and 45-minute journey, I'm left with mixed feelings. Renfe as a company is reliable in general. They usually run on time and the infrastructure is impressive. But for the extra cost of Elige Confort, you're not really getting much value. The wine was great, yes, but everything else felt like an expensive afterthought. If I were to do this trip again, I'd either pay the full price for genuine AVE premium class, or I'd book a standard seat and bring my own food, or buy something from the restaurant coach. This middle ground option just doesn't deliver enough to justify the premium. And here's my biggest takeaway. With new competitors like Irio and Wigo entering the Spanish market, Renfe needs to seriously step up their game. The competition is offering better service, friendlier staff, and more transparent pricing. If Renfe doesn't adapt quickly, I can easily see these newer companies taking significant market share. So the lesson here? Always book directly with the train operator's website after doing your research on aggregator sites. Only book on an aggregator site if you're absolutely sure what you're buying. Use those comparison sites to find your options. But as I said, buy directly to ensure you actually get what you're paying for. And remember, just because something is called comfort or premium doesn't mean it's the best product available. Have you been tricked by aggregator websites into booking something that wasn't quite what you expected? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see how AVE Premium XL compares to this experience, be sure to subscribe because that video is next up. See you next time on the tracks or in the skies.